Senator from Texas.
Madam President, crime is surging across this nation. Murder rates have risen over the last 3 years. Carjackings are rising. Robberies are rising. Today, I want to discuss the resolution disapproving of the D.C. City Council's decision to eliminate mandatory minimums and to reduce maximum sentences for violent crimes, including robbery, carjacking, and burglary. The D.C. City Council made this decision to lower penalties late last year, despite the fact that crime has been skyrocketing in this city. In the past 12 months, overall crime is up 25% in D.C. Car theft has increased 110% in D.C., and homicides have increased 30%. Who in their right mind looks to those rising crime rates and says the answer is to lower the penalties for violent crime? And D.C.'s spike in crime is hardly confined to the last 12 months. In 2021, the number of murders in D.C. was the highest it's been since 2003. The mayor of D.C., a Democrat, vetoed the City Council's decision to rewrite the criminal code, saying, quote, "Anytime there's a policy that reduces penalties, I think it sends the wrong message." Unfortunately, the Democrats on the City Council in D.C. overrode her veto. Time and time again, we've seen Democrats in major cities reducing penalties for crime, and we've seen, as a result, crime spiking. We've seen this in San Francisco. We've seen this in Los Angeles. We've seen this in Portland. We've seen this in Boston. We've seen this in Philadelphia. We've seen this in New York. We've seen this in St. Louis. We've seen this in Chicago. Crime is spiking in D.C., and it is incredibly harmful to the men and women and children who live in D.C. to be lowering the penalties for violent crime. That's why I'm proud to support the resolution to disapprove of the D.C. City Council's decision, and I thank my friend from Tennessee for his leadership in bringing this resolution. This has already passed the House, and I believe it will pass the Senate as well. And despite being soft on crime his entire presidency, President Biden has said he will sign it if it passes the Senate. Now, that's remarkable, given Biden's record on crime. That's remarkable, given that Biden has nominated not one, not two, but three of the leading advocates of abolishing the police to senior positions at the Department of Justice. And I'm sorry to say, every Democrat in this chamber voted to confirm not one, not two, but all three of those advocates of abolishing the police to senior positions in the Department of Justice. One of those was a George Soros-backed prosecutor in Massachusetts who, like the D.C. City Council, put out a list of crimes that she would not allow her prosecutors to prosecute, endangering the citizens she was charged to protect. What was her reward for refusing to prosecute violent criminals? President Biden nominated her to be the U.S. Attorney for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and every Senate Democrat voted to confirm her as the U.S. Attorney, the chief federal prosecutor in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Now, once President Biden said he would sign this bill, the political pressure it has put on the D.C. City Council has had enormous impact. This week, the council tried to withdraw the legislation. Never mind, was their response. But simply withdrawing a bill doesn't permanently get rid of it under the Home Rule Act, which allows Congress to review legislation that comes out of the D.C. City Council. To permanently stop the D.C. Council's harmful bill, Congress should proceed and pass the resolution of disapproval, and President Biden should follow through on his commitment to sign it. A recent poll found that 77% of Americans believe that violent crime is a major problem. Democrats, tragically, have been soft on crime for years, and crime has surged as a result. At the end of the day, it's not complicated. If you let violent criminals go, they commit more and more violent crimes. We have seen patterns all over the country of mass murders carried out by violent criminals who Democrat DAs have let out of jail only to see them turn around and commit more violent crimes. Congress right now has an opportunity to come together and to speak in a bipartisan way and to say enough is enough is enough. Stop letting violent criminals out of jail. Let's protect our citizens. Let's do our job. I urge every senator, Republican and Democrat, to support this resolution. And I yield the floor.